What's up? What's
Not
up?
much,
What's
man.
up?
Welcome to another
Happy
Manic Monday, right?
Just another Manic Monday. Cindy Lauper said it best, right?
It's been a crazy day here. All the storms. It's been storming like crazy.
Oh,
It's still storming.
right? Oh my, what's up with the wind? I mean, parental advisory, explicit lyrics, warning, whatever, but there's an old expression that I use. It is windier than a sack full of assholes outside. That straight up, man. It is
Yeah.
windy.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. Hopefully a lot less smelly. I haven't stepped outside in a minute, but
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. Waking up,
and
or not
out
waking
where
up
I
too,
live,
but
it is in the middle of field, so I have no windbreak whatsoever. So the wind just amplifies itself. It's insane.
no, it's
And
been
there's
nutty.
old,
Tornado
we're in
warning,
an old farmhouse, so everything shakes and moves. It's fun.
right? Yeah, it's crazy. The temperature's not bad. I mean, you can't hardly argue with mid 50s, 60s, but
Yeah.
holy smokes, certainly windy. Well, how you doing, brother? How was your weekend?
Had
Doing
a good
fun?
weekend, man. Took Friday off from work to take my daughter Paige on a college tour of Purdue University. Been a long
Outstanding.
time since I walked around a college university. Things have changed.
How
Uh,
was that? How was
had a
that?
great time. Had a great time. Went through all the departments and stuff, and she got to see where the dining and residence halls, and then just went down to her specialization in bugs. If you know my daughter, she's a bug lover. And it was just outstanding response down there. The people are just amazing. I mean, they knew her by name or they've been talking online. So
That's cool.
it was a pretty cool experience. So we done that Friday, and then Saturday, me and Miss Meg didn't have a uh, real chance to go out for Valentine's Day. We went out and ate with Club Brother Tech and Sweet Pea,
Okay.
and so I wanted to plan something a little special. We've both been kind of stressed or whatever, and just wanted to get away. So I set, tried to find a Airbnb. One popped up. It was cancellation, super cheap. Ended up being on a lake with like a big deck over the lake. So just we went to the Irish pub and filled our bellies just as full as we could get, and then went and sat and watched the water and the sunset, and just got away. It was amazing. Turned my phone off. Yeah,
Oh yeah. No, that sounds like an awesome weekend. Getting to
it
go
really
see
was.
the bug lab at Purdue, and you sent me a couple pictures after the fact. Hey, check out this amazing looking plate of food from the Irish Lion, and no, the
Oh,
the place, the place you stayed looked phenomenal. Holy smokes!
I had half a
That's
duck at the Irish pub. Amazing. I hadn't had duck in a long time, so I was like, "Do I try? Do I not try?" I was like, "I used to love it, so maybe I still love it." I love it.
it looked delicious. It
Oh,
looked delicious, man. Right on, right on. Well, that sounds like an outstanding weekend.
what'd you get into?
Well, first off, I mean, we got some merch in. Got
Yes,
some merch from across the
Megan
pond.
just said something about that.
Look at that. Look at that. That's right. Yeah, got some. I'd gotten some winnings from an online. They had the Beard Mob TV, Beard Mob England TV. So D Train, and so reached out to Silky and was like, "Hey man, I need to get a hat. I need to get a shirt and all this other stuff." So yeah, I got that mail in over the weekend. So that was super, just awesome. The
I always
swag
love when
pack.
stuff comes from England because it's in just a tightly packed box, and it's like they precisionally placed everything in there. And you're like, I didn't order half of this stuff. It's stickers
I'm
and
telling you,
swag and pins, and
oh
it's just
man,
always amazing to get one from over the pond.
for sure. I got patches and buttons and stickers and magnets, and I mean those cats do an
Look at my
amazing
new
job.
hat. I got the camo option.
Look at that
Beard
camo
Mob
option.
England.
So yeah, I got a sweet shirt, and we also got our. Let me switch. Look at that haircut. Yeah, got my mustache widened and my ears lowered a little bit. Got the hair trimmer. So Miss Heather Lucas, if you're watching, appreciate you, girl. Thank you. What's up, Yukon? And we got our we had an online store, a few months back for Beard Mob Indiana merch. So you
Yep.
see Red's rocking one of those long sleeves. I didn't have time to change clothes, but here's one of the hats we got. So yeah, man, it was a merch weekend for one, and then had a couple brothers come down, Afton and Stinky come over. We smoked some ribs,
Hell
made
yeah.
some sides, and so yeah, we just ate like kings and chilled out, and yeah, it's a good weekend, man. It's a good weekend.
Oh
Weather was
yeah.
halfway, so yeah, it was
I seen
outstanding.
a picture. I seen a picture of them ribs, dude. I was real jealous. If I hadn't have been full of duck, I'd have been madder than mashed cat.
Well, man,
I'm gonna miss you too, chicken wing. It's always a good time.
yeah, for sure, brother, for sure, absolutely gonna miss seeing your face, hugging your neck this weekend. So yeah, man, I'm kind of jack of all, master of none, but I do like to cook. So ribs turned
Yeah.
out pretty good.
I haven't
Ribs
ate
turned out
anything
pretty
bad at
good.
your house. What is that on your hat? Is that leather?
It
Oh my,
is.
that's
Look at
fancy.
that leather patch, snapback.
Snapback.
Beat it. Can't beat it. Yeah. So
Good
everybody,
looking hat. Good looking hat.
next time we do a merch drive, y'all have to jump in. You gotta get in it to win it.
There might be some comp merch sometime before the comp.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
I mean, we've got a
That,
pretty cool company here in town that I mean they're screen printed, so I mean it's super good quality. I was really impressed, and yeah, I think we probably be setting up an online store prior to our August comp bearded theater. I'm hoping so. Yukon. I
let's
hope it's
call
a
his bluff.
ploy.
Call his
He
bluff.
sneaks in. He sneaks in like we did at You Matter a couple months
That's
back,
still
right?
epic. Cannot believe we kept that a secret as long as we did, man.
Well, it was good until Stinky and I went to Walmart and then ran into like 10 people there while you guys were trying to take a quick nap. But
But yeah, well, that was
no,
literally like 20 minutes before the meet and greet anyway. So
yeah. I guess if you're going to a small town, don't go to Walmart and still try to be secretive.
that's all right. You ran into some of the best people you could have ran into in Walmart.
100%.
Man, you need to stay on
100%.
Walmart to keep running into these bearded folk.
there's a there's a pattern. There's a pattern here, I think, right?
Or better yet, here's a stack of business cards. Go to Walmart.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I know that's where I give out most of mine.
Well,
The
I'll
camera
tell you what,
ain't working.
Stash, we have a very special guest in the back. Never met him in person. I think we've crossed paths a few times after talking for a bit. But I do have some of his artwork. So let's bring on Mr. Jason Kiley.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Well,
Doing good, man. Man, just super excited to get a chance to meet you and hope to meet you in person soon. But thanks so much for coming on the show tonight.
Oh, of course. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you do
absolutely.
some
We're glad to
amazing.
have you.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about some of the cool stuff that you do. Absolutely. So I guess for starters, I mean, tell us who you are, where you live, and we'll just kind of start
All right.
down that path if that's all right.
My name's Jason Kiley. I live in Viroqua, Wisconsin. It's a little small town, and I own and operate One Eyed Cat Crafts. It's a functional ceramics business. I'm doing it full time for over 10 years now. It's been my main gig. So I've been, a lot of people have seen my work at contests. I donate pretty regularly to events when I can. And
I see it in raffles all the time, man. That's how I got one, is a raffle.
Yep. That's how, the raffles, like sending off to raffles was how my business even kind of really, took off online or across the United States. Is like, it was like maybe 8-9 years ago now when I first got into the bearding community. But like, I just would find accounts on Facebook, and then I'd send them messages like, "Hey, do you guys have a raffle table? Like, I make these mugs with mustache guards." Everyone was super, super excited about it, and then started plugging my business as well. And so, I went from just local stuff to getting orders. Pretty much from every city. Started getting them from the cities and stuff I was sending things to, and so it works. It's worked out, and I mean, like, it's because bearding is all about charity, and so it was something I could get right away.
Absolutely, and that's where I first heard your name, and specifically around You Matter, right? And leading up to Shannon Klinkenbeard is outstanding about promoting those that help, donate to and contribute to. And
Yeah,
I kept seeing images on this boot, and I'm like, what is that? That is amazing. That is amazing. And Ron and I were chatting on this. Has been many, many, many weeks ago. It was like, we need to get this guy on the show to highlight what he's doing, because it's impressive. As a mustache only kind of feller, and I think we all know, you try to take a sip out of anything with the open lid, good Lord, it's you need some napkins. You need some extra napkins. So mustache guard is spectacular.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Jason, I can see it working, because like I said, I won this cup here particularly in a raffle.
Nice.
And I hang out with a bunch of bearded people, so they're always like, "Oh, that is so neat. Where did you get that?" I've probably had that question 75 times since I've owned this mug. So it's the best marketing tool ever. And you're giving back. So
yeah, I was super bummed I couldn't make it to UMatter. I was supposed to judge, had everything planned out, and it was 2 or 3 days before, and all it because I was just getting sicker and sicker, and the last thing I wanted to do was go to an event and hang out with everyone and get anyone else sick. So, but otherwise, I would have been down there too, and I would have
probably would have for sure. No, sorry we missed the opportunity, but appreciate the forethought and the respect for others. That yeah, especially if you're not feeling well. Probably better for your health in the long term anyway.
Yeah.
The judges panel was rough on that one, man. It changed 3 times in a week.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now I feel even worse. I was in contact with Shannon as soon as I was in the beginning. I was like, man, I'm just he's like, you're the one who knows how you feel the best or the most. And I'm just like, man, if this was a local comp, I would stay. I'd be at home. I don't want to get anyone sick. And so I'm just like, I gotta bow out. So,
speaking of, Mr. Klinkenbeard, good to see you, sir.
Oh, nice. Hey, brother.
Hey, jumped on right. Good time.
Perfect time. His ears must have been burned.
He's got plenty of your wares I've seen hiding in his cabinet.
Yeah. Tisha owns the most boots outside of me, States or the world at this point.
So, since we've jumped into boot conversation, let's go ahead and talk about the boot a little bit. I'll put some pictures up and kind of explain the process of how it works, because I heard it and didn't understand it. So I listened again, and then I went online and read it, and then I understood it.
Yeah, it's kind of, it started. The whole boot is a charity project that I started myself. Being a ceramic artist, I've always wanted to make, I know how to make molds of stuff and stuff. I've always wanted to make a full-size cowboy boot and then turn it into a mustache mug. And so I finally got around to doing that. And then during COVID, when no one was going anywhere, I started the boot campaign. And so in the beginning, it was whatever, it was a cumulative total club to donate money in. And then we were just doing this running total. Whoever got the most, raised the most money or donated the most, then won the boot. And then coming out of COVID, it changed to an online section and an in-comp section. And so for a week leading up before the comp, I will run an online, basically media blitz. Anyone can attend the competition. You could still get raffle tickets for the boot. And so for 4 days online, you can get tickets for the boot. And then it shifts to in person at the comp. And so the night of the comp, anyone in person can still get those raffle tickets after the comp is over. I use just a random generator, and then whoever has that win raffle, their club gets a boot campaign for that next year. And
that's so cool.
And a physical boot that will go on their raffle table. I've had some clubs use it for best in show, but it's up to the club what they do for it. But just winning the boot from that raffle, you're going to get all that extra money going to your campaign, because all the money from the boot campaign goes to whatever club with their charity. I don't keep any of it, and so it all goes there. So it's usually between like between like 400 is what gets added. I mean, which in the big scheme of things, it's not much, but it's way more than I could ever just do myself.
I know I sure spent a lot of money trying to win that boot.
Yeah.
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 that boot at U-Matter, as well as the next boot, which I think the Cincinnati Beard Barons, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they won the next one, right? So yeah, I put a lot of tickets in the trying to win the U-Matter boot, and then I know Ron and I both threw down and bought some spaces to try to win the next boot coming out. Which, what a phenomenal idea! I mean, those things just, they look badass, straight up. I mean, the
Look at
craft
the detail on these things, man.
it's phenomenal. It looks, and it literally, it is the size of a boot. I mean, we're not talking about this is like a coffee mug size. This is like the size of a regular boot that you would wear. It's
Yeah.
not a small thing.
Yeah, I think you could put like 40 ounces in there. And so, yeah, it's a hefty beer if you fill it up all the
I
way.
was gonna say, that's your one beer for the night kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a one beer a night kind of person, I guess. But
Yeah.
yes, I agree.
I'm only having one, but it's 40 ounces.
Yeah.
No, but I love that idea, right? I mean, you're taking time out of your schedule to produce something, and I would argue that $400 is a hell of a nice plug into whatever club's
Yeah.
charity,
Absolutely.
charitable donation. That's nothing to smirk at
Yeah.
by any stretch. And it creates excitement and buzz, and it's kind of perpetual, right? The next comp could pick up another one, and so it's a really, really cool cycle.
Yeah, I'm excited to put in the raffle for the next one at Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, Cincinnati is still the beard club that they claim to. I've never, like, besides the club that I tried starting a club called Blue Collar Beards in West Virginia. Many years ago. We were around for about a year, and it just kind of fizzled out. And at that point, I was starting to go Cincinnati because they were only an hour and a half away from me, and so cool. Yeah, I became Taxi Phil said I could become a member, and I've just stuck with it because I mean, right around that point too, family and I started moving around, and so I wasn't going to start another club, and so I've just always I get to always be an honorary member for the Cincinnati Beard Baron. So I'm excited to make that mug. That it's always fun just working with the clubs, like to see kind of what their ideas, because I'm just like, well, what do you kind of want? The image is up to you. If I can find it or if I can make it or get it going, like I'll put it on the boot. So it's a fun project.
That was my next question: is how do you get the inspiration for the artwork? But you just took it. So cool.
I'm talking with the club so they can make it as unique as they want. If they're not sure, I mean, like we get the comp logo, put that on the side, put anything like that. But is the earlier that I get with them, the more involved it can be, because like I'll have more time to just kind of find the resources or imagery and stuff and to do the design work to transfer onto that boot.
So is it like transferred on, or is it a lot of that hand painted, or is it a little bit of a combination?
Those are all it's all transferred. So it's like I use ceramic decals. So they'll go on after the boot comes out. It's all white. You can drink out of it. But then my decals are basically like I print on a special paper, and then I can apply them like stickers. I just stick them wherever I need them on the boot. Smooth out air bubbles. It goes back to the kiln. And then I fire it up, and then that imagery, the paper burns off, but the imagery burns into the glaze and kind of stains it, and it's there permanently. It's the same way like mugs and stuff that
Yeah, that's why I was just feeling it, because I was like, I don't feel anything erased. I mean, it's smooth.
Yep. Yeah. Like a lot of decals sit on the surface, but like that version of it actually is like staining the glaze. So it's like part of the cup at that point after it's fired in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's way cool. I've never seen anything done like that before. No,
it's a sight to see. They are a sight to see. I can't wait to see the next one at the comp coming up later this year for Cincinnati Beard Barons. Big Whisker Revival.
Yeah, it's good. That's a great comp too. If you haven't been there, I mean, like
every year. That's the first one that goes on my schedule.
I have not. I was unable to go last year due to some other commitments, but no, it's definitely on the to not miss list for me for sure.
I'm missing one of my good friends' wedding to go to Big Whisker Revival.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be mad, bro.
Yeah, they have the
What's up, John?
Rock and Sock and Robots to decide ties. I always, whenever I was eating there, I was hoping to tie someone. Like I always, because I just want to play Rock and Sock on stage, like
on the big stage.
That's hilarious. I love that as a tiebreaker. Actually, that just
yes.
And they retired the old set last year, and they got a new Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
Oh, nice. That's so awesome.
Old one would get a little quirky.
I like that.
One of these.
So I guess if I can in the sense of the beard clubs, how long have you been growing that beautiful bushy beard, bro?
This is about 2.5 years now. I had previous beard before, and I did a charity shave off 2.5 years ago. Racing charity in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But before that, I'd been a beard for about 7 years. So it was the beard that when I went to Worlds and won my category Best in Show, that beard was like 7 years old. So it was about down to my belt buckle.
Wow. I've seen those photos, dude. That was an epic beard.
Yeah. Yep. I only have.
I hope you raised a lot of money to shave that.
What's that?
I hope you raised a lot of money to shave that.
We raised $10,000, and so it was.
That's the goal I put on my head, but nobody paid me anything, so I kept it.
It was awesome. 2020, so it been about 3 years after 2.5 years after Worlds. I mean, I was not getting right after Worlds, I was getting news and getting asked to be on talk shows and all this stuff. So I was still known all over as like the beard guy and who won Worlds and whatever. So I'm just like, my star rise of like fame or whatever is kind of waning, and so like what better way? I'm just like, I can grow a beard. My beard grows quick and grows. So I mean,
I'd say so.
Not quick enough once you shave it all the way off, but completely in the tradition of what charity bearding is just like how can I make the most difference? Well, I know that it would get a lot of media attention of like a former world champion shaving off their beard, and so I just was like, well, let's do this. So shaved all the way down to just a mustache, and just had that until my beard grew back in.
Right on. World champion, man. I didn't know you were a world champion. I feel honored to be in your presence.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Well, I was honored well before that, but you know what I'm saying.
Don't dig your own hole, Stash.
In 2017 at Austin, Texas, I got first place in full beard freestyle, and then ended up, much to my surprise, with the Best in Show for the two, which was I was blown away. It was so phenomenal, and that's so cool. Also coming off that, in a couple of years off of that too, was kind of made it easier, even just with the charity shave off, because I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I can keep going to comps, but I don't know much more than I can do. Get much bigger.
Can't find a bigger trophy than that one.
No. And so, but in 2 more years, I'll have 2 more years of growth, and there's going to be another Worlds. So here, in the States. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. It'll be fun stuff. It'll be my first.
2025 in Pennsylvania, right?
Yep. Mad Vikings putting up.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're correct. Yep.
And Jason, I want to touch. You talked about your winning for freestyle. Just absolutely amazing freestylist, man. I look up to you. I've tried it a couple times. I normally do it just on online comps. So when it looks incredibly stupid, I can just take it out and start over. I've never tried it in a live comp yet. I've threatened it, so we'll see. But man, you're just a master of the craft, really. I mean, every design is super clean. It's not loose. It blows me away. You and Paul Kennedy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Paul's wrecking it right now. I mean, and especially through COVID, like, I mean, you couldn't call like in an online comp. I mean, like he can do it so clean. He's got the costuming or all his fancy clothes that corresponds.
Yeah.
And online, he can take amazing pictures and videos. I mean, like it was a whole new level for the online stuff. Like I did a couple freestyles, but I had the camera on my phone.
Yeah,
It's good. So when it's your turn to go on and talk to anyone, it's all grainy and crappy. Man, I was like, this is not working. But yeah, I love Paul's designs.
Absolutely.
super cool too.
But yeah, back in the day, I mean, like when I was competing, like all the time, like very beginning. Once I first started, I wanted to beard out longer, but there's a comp in Bellefontaine, Ohio. Comp's no longer around. It was great if anyone went to the Bellefontaine Builders, I think is what they were. But they were so much fun. But I was going to a comp there, and I couldn't enter full beard styled stash because my beard had just gotten beyond 12 inches. That was one of their club rules.
Oh.
And I went into freestyle for the first time there. And then, after that, I mean, like it was like I was just practicing at home, like every other week. So my daughter was just born. And so when she'd nap, I'd go in, try to practice freestyle. I mean, like I put in a lot of time. Like I want, like, but also that after I went to my first beard contest and saw the freestylers, like I knew right away, I'm like, I want to do that. And I'm just like, I want to get, like, I just want to get really good at it. I want to get really good at something really ridiculous. And so, like, I put in my time to get to kind of where I was. It was actually at Bellefontaine. The guy, he was Michael Harold. That's who I learned how to style like I did in like tubes rather than flat ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've never seen anyone do it for him. And so like I think he ended up with first place that year, which was, I mean, he could definitely deserve it. Then after the comp we just ended up talking and kind of told me his process because he's like, my beard's too crazy and wild, I can't flatten it out. And I'm like, I can't either. And so I pretty much aped his style and then took it further and kind of just made it into my own kind of recognizable thing. And so, but and then just kind of went from there. Yeah, just using the tubes rather than like ribbons. Yeah, because it's so much more like from an engineering standpoint, more strength-wise stronger.
Rigidity.
All those hairs like forming a tube rather than trying to flatten them all out. And so I could build a lot bigger and structure.
So you mentioned practice. That's where I lack is in the practice. Like my first freestyle, I started like 2 hours before the comp.
Mm-hmm.
My wife got an emergency call. She had to leave. So it's just me in the bathroom mirror. And I'm like, all right, what can I wrap my beard around to make curls? Found out first try that toilet paper rolls will stick to got to be glued.
Yep.
So that was an instant start over.
Oh, God. Yeah. I've been, I guess, pretty fortunate. I've never washed out a style. I've clothes like more than once. And just about turned on the shower and decided, like, no, I got to wash this out and I'm going to just go enter full natural. I mean, like, this is garbage. But then at that point, I'm just like, I still got time. I'm just like, let's just see. Like, I'm just going to fuck around and just try other weird stuff because I know I'm washing it out. And that was always when I figured out or learned something new when I was doing stuff because I didn't care. And it's like, this isn't going to the comp. So I'd just try some crazy thing and then I'd end up.
But once I'm here, let's try this.
Yep.
Yeah. And an hour later, you're like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't hop in the shower. This worked out okay. Not too bad.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what I suppose separated me from a lot of other competitors was just that practice time. And
right on.
That and being willing to stand in the mirror inhaling hairspray for 4 hours. I put in like at Worlds, it was just under 5 hours of styling, and a lot of times before yeah, it'd be between 3 and 4 hours to get a style done.
Woo!
That's
That's
amazing.
commitment.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's impressive. Just on that level. The amount of
And you
time
can-
it takes to put together.
And the art shows. I mean, the time, the practice, it shows in the clean, the nice symmetrical lines. It shows. I mean, you put in work, you get good results, and you win. That's how that's how anything works. So
Yeah. I guess I didn't find out till I'd already learned how to style. But at one point, I was talking with Arnie Bielefeld, and or he was online or something. I thought for sure he said that he styles without any heat from his blow dryer. And so I learned to style with I'd either tape like the cold button down so it's all the air, which would take a lot longer for that hairspray to dry. That instant heat isn't just like forming it and making it solid. Come to find out that that's not styles at all. He totally uses heat, but I taught myself that way, and I tried going back to using like heat to quicken things up, and everything was it was drying and setting up way too fast. And so that's how I think to get a lot of that symmetry, like I was spraying and then it was just kind of cold air. So I had a lot more time to kind of get things set up and kind of adjust. Because as soon as the blow dryer went on, it wasn't just freezing it in place. But yeah, using only cold does definitely add the time. But,
hey, just goes to prove there is more than one way to do anything.
Yes.
Mr. Jim
Jim
Jones.
Jones.
Hey.
Good evening, sir.
I do. Oh yeah, Jim was talking about. Yeah, I did the very first styling I did was at a Whisker Mania in Louisville. It was actually the very first Whisker Mania. It was held in August. It was in this building. There's no AC, and it was like 100. It was like over 100. Like that day it got 100. And so at night they had fans and stuff going through. Oh, like geez, like I was sweating so bad. I was down just hanging out in my shorts. Like I was so afraid I was going to start sweating out my shorts because it was just like sweat rolling. And then I'm doing the first time I've ever styled in front of people. They gave me a mirror and I just brought my stuff and I was just kind of off to the side of the stage, just styling. Like, oh man, it was stressful, but I ended up with the style that stayed. But yeah, it's a very memorable evening.
Man, I can't imagine with all that hairspray and the heat. That'd be a trick.
Yeah. But
just running down your face, you can feel it running through the channel. No.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
Then after that, I think the next year either the next year or 2 years later, I did live styling, but I got other people to sit for me. And so I just styled other people. That way no matter what, however anything is, it's not me. Like I'll style someone.
Looks good. I don't have to wear it.
Yep.
You're killing it, buddy. Go for it. Yep.
So, Jason, we talked about the boot a little bit, but I know, like with me and a lot of the other people that have your stuff, we get these mugs, man. And how cool are these mugs? So, is this one of the things that kind of got you started, or did this?
Chuck Norris.
I've been doing ceramic since how long that was, like 22 or so, and so like over 20 now. Like I'd gone to school for ceramic degree, and so I have a degree and a master's, and then it was really like when I was kind of finishing graduate school, like I was making large scale sculpture and stuff like that, and selling hardly any of it, but like pots and stuff, cups, mugs, bowls, I was selling on the side. It's my little side hustle at the time. Like at one point, I realized I was making more money off my side hustle than my actual job, even though at the time just working at Target. And so I was just like, well, I'm just like, and I was getting the end of school. Like, I'm a studio potter. So, and at that same time, right towards years, I think before I was done with graduate school, or I was at least before we left West Virginia, I started going to beard comps. And so I started going to beard competitions, and then in order to make enough money for going to a competition, I got ending. And so like I just bring ceramics. First ones was just regular. There's no mustache guards because I didn't know about it. And so, but I pay for my hotel, gas, and food, like from selling ceramics, and be able to go because otherwise I just wouldn't have been able to afford to. And then I was at a comp in Chad Roberts from RVA asked, he's like, oh, could you put mustache guards on these coffee mugs? I'm like, mustache guard. He pulls out his phone. They showing me, I could totally do that. Yeah, and then from there, as soon as I got mustache guards on, that's when I decided almost like, no, like I'm gonna keep going to BeardCon, no matter what. Like, and so I started making mustache guard cups, sending them to any competition that I could just find on Facebook at the time,
Right.
get their raffle stuff, and then I started getting a lot of orders from mustache guards. Started working with some of the companies making mugs for them with logos and stuff. Yeah, I mean, without so like my actual like business, like the One-Eyed Cat Crafts, like is like without bearding, I don't know if I would still be doing it right.
That's
I mean,
amazing. So bearding kind of built the brand.
Yeah, because at the same time, I really, when I really got kind of serious and was into bearding and just making mugs, I was right around the time I started doing freestyle, and so my name was a lot more recognition in the beard community, and so people either knew me because
double whammy.
of freestyles or they knew me because of my ceramics, and then eventually, like it was just both. It was just like, oh yeah, that's the guy who makes the ceramic cups too, and so it was.
I've never even heard of a mustache guard until I saw one of your boots or mugs with a mustache guard on it. I thought, what a phenomenal idea. Um, that's that's stellar. That's stellar. Because I know, like, if I go to a restaurant and order Lord knows I'm ordering a beer, right? And it's like, can you bring a couple extra napkins because it's good? Yeah, we got to dry off this sponge. There's no way to kind of drink out of a pint glass without some,
Oh yeah.
absorption. So that's a stellar idea. I'd love that. I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, but I guess it was the like 1800s. I think probably right around the same time that mustache wax kind of came in fashion. Like, or this is what I've heard. I haven't done my own legitimate research, but someone like had told me that it's because when dudes were drinking tea, because first mustache guards were on teacups, and so it would be so that hot tea wouldn't melt the wax in their mustache, and make them droop.
I have two of those teacups.
Yes. Yeah. You can
Makes
still
sense.
like in antique stores and stuff like that.
Yep.
Or even just hop on or eBay.
But the hunt's so much more fun.
Yeah. True.
So I noticed there was a photo on the One-Eyed Cat of kind of like a vendor booth. Like, so do you do like some art fairs and things like that as well, or?
Yeah. The majority of like comes from direct sales, like to the person. And that was a learning thing along the road. I mean, like I was doing wholesale, I was doing like anything and everything to like just bring in business, and like it just wasn't like, well, yeah. I remember the year. At the end of the year, I did my tax. Thinking about how many hours I was working a week and then what I actually brought in, and I was like, this doesn't add up. I'm like, I can't be doing wholesale like what I was. I'm losing too much money. And so thinking about everything, the best, like I realized, I'm just like, I can increase what's coming in 40%. Sometimes 50%, like depending on like who people wanted, by selling directly to the people. And so at that point I was going and setting up at craft sales, different events like that, just a couple times a year. And then I switched over to going once or twice a month and selling directly to people. I also had to increase my prices that year, but I made it through and then had a much more sustainable setup or like way to just for me to make or just my business. That wasn't like what like I thought I needed to do. Like, I thought I needed to be doing wholesale, doing big orders, try to hire an employee, and that just like it almost sank me. And so
Oh shit! The amount of volume that you would have to try to sell in order to be able to offset the margins that the big box stores are going to be scraping off because they're going to get their 15-20%. No, I would agree. I think it's either you need an army, and this is just me talking, right? You need an army to be banging out the same kind of similar stuff versus the custom artwork that you're able to provide. So I think cutting out the middleman, going directly to the end user is a smart move. Unless
Absolutely.
you're wanting to have a team of 50 people that's doing nothing but cranking out the same kind of stuff with minimal difference in color. But yeah, I get that 100%. It makes a lot of sense.
Yep. So yeah, at this point, yeah, I'm setting up. Well, this is the slower year, so like I still do wholesale, but I'm doing it right now. I do it January, when there's no like there's really no reason to try to go and setting up anywhere for sales, especially January. No one has money.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
There's a sale I do in Madison in February, and then the next one might not be till April. So I mean, like I still have bills to pay, and so I have about 3 people that I still wholesale with, because I mean, like one of them's Mad Viking. They've been with me since the beginning. Like they were ordering cups or steins and stuff like that. I'm actually just finishing up another an order for them for get some steins. I mean,
Those signs are so cool.
and so, yeah, there's just a couple people where I get their orders done. Like, if I need to bring in more, like, I basically have, like, well, just a mental list of people that I could just send out an email saying them, it's like, you need something? I'm just like, I can fit in another wholesale order. And
Yeah.
just like, oh, yeah, please. So, but that's 10 years of doing this too and working with different people and this and that. And so
Right.
It takes a lot of networking, man.
Yep.
Networking and hours.
Yeah, but yeah, finally, yeah. Once again, every time like we moved, like I've moved like 3 times, built studios, rebuilt clientele, and I figured out that it takes about 3 years for me to build enough clientele in an area that I can really just cut out wholesale. I can just flat out just say no, I don't, unless you're one of like those 3 that actually will still do wholesale.
I got you. So if somebody wants, say, for example, I saw, I think Jeff Harris mentioned earlier, I'd like to get a custom mug. I mean, do you do those types of things? I know we've got your oneeyedcatcrafts.com scrolling across the bottom, but is there an opportunity, say, for like myself, who's interested in a mug as well as maybe Chicken Wing down there to reach out and get a singular mug or something like that?
100%, 100%. Like custom, just it's basically the price of the mug, and then whatever time it takes me. Like if I'm designing something for you, like I can't just give those hours away, and so like
Sure.
but like there's a design fee, and it's for custom like computer graphic design stuff. Like it's like a pittance. Like everyone, like my graphic design friends are just like, no, you need to be going at least like $30 an hour, and I'm just like, no one's gonna pay me. And so, but I love doing custom work, especially like just people have ideas and stuff. Like I do that all the time. Someone just sends me an image, like they have a photograph of their kids, their dog, cat, grandpa they want on there, and it's like I don't have to do anything. I don't charge anything for that custom stuff. All I have to do is look into like graphics design or into Photoshop, either move the
Print it out.
sometimes not do a thing. I just have to size it. So I'm not going to charge you anything for that. So,
Right on. Well, that's realistic. And what about Mr. Baker down here? Do you do like cigar ashtrays, other than the mugs and bowls and stuff? Do you do like
Bowl with a
cigar
mustache guard so I can drink my cereal milk?
I do. It's very rare. The bowls I do have every once in a while, mustache guard bowls on my shop, but it is kind of rare. For the cigar dish, yeah, I could make just about anything at this point. confident. Like, it's both like, well, I was doing sculpture for almost as long as I've been throwing now. So with having my sculpture background and just the pottery wheel throwing background, I'm pretty confident I can pull off just about anything in clay.
Right on.
But
Right
one
on.
about wholesale. The only people besides, like, I have three main people and they'll do big orders, but like for clubs and stuff like that, like I go, like, if a club wants club mug stuff, I just say, like, you need to order at least 10. Get 10 people together. I'll give you the wholesale, just because once again, a lot of times, like, that club money in what they make, it's all going kind of back to charity. And so that's kind of the friends or beard pricing for wholesale. Like, I'll still do it for clubs and stuff, unless they want, like, ridiculous order. Then I'm just like, I can't do that. But I mean, I get, like, try to make sure people get what they want, and and it still be affordable.
So some other interesting things I noticed when I was doing some sleuthing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Sleuthing sounds way better than stalking.
Sleuthing. we aren't Facebook stalking. We're just Facebook sleuthing.
You're doing some educational stuff as well.
Yeah, I was just out in Bakersfield, California. I was visiting visiting artist spot, and so I went out there. It was actually super nice. My buddy that I've known since high school, was a professor out there, and so he put in, and basically for his classes, like, I just took over for the day. I do slideshows about my work, kind of how I ended up where I was. I throw in some beard pictures as well too. But then just basically just really kind of just showing them how I make work, answer questions, because I guess, like, I'm a working artist for 10 plus years, and so it was really cool. I've been in the classroom for a long time. Like, I've had different jobs where I was a adjunct at Marshall University teaching sculpture there, and, like, worked at the museum there doing pottery classes and things like that too. But it's been a really long time since I've, like, I don't know, taught a class or instructed anything. So it was a lot of fun.
I just love the theme here. I keep getting, you donate these mugs to these beard comps. The money goes to charity. You build your business.
Yep.
You've gained this knowledge. You give this knowledge back, and it builds your business. It's a real giving. And when you give, it comes full circle and comes back. And I love both of those stories. I just put it together in my head with the the mugs to raffle, and then the education coming back, and that's pretty amazing there, Jason.
Yeah.
You're doing good stuff, man. Love it.
It's phenomenal. I'm super loving it. And the picture of the wheel, I bought my daughter a potter's wheel for Christmas. She was talking about wanting to learn to throw some clay, and so she's been kind of experimenting out here in the garage. So we'll see what happens, but no, it's cool stuff, and it almost seems kind of I don't know, like de-stressing, just kind of.
It can be.
Your mind. Now, granted, I'm sure if you're trying to go for you have this vision of what the outcome is supposed to be, versus just kind of playing with the wheel and seeing what happens. I'm sure there's two totally different mindsets there, but there's kind of a relaxing. I haven't tried it yet. It's been kind of her gig, and Dad, that'll let you do your thing, but it seems like there's just kind of not playing in the mud, but like playing in the mud, just kind of having some fun, and you know what I mean, getting a little dirty. I dig it.
Watching, like, ceramic or people throw is like hypnotizing. Like, it just draws you in. Like, I've started posting it once in a while, some videos of just, like, when I'm working wheel, like, on Instagram, and I'll start watching my own videos, even though it's me, but I'm just like, wow, it's super. It's fun to watch. To do it, like, I don't think there's a steeper learning curve in any art form, like, out there. And so you kind of have to be, like, a little bit masochistic of just like, no, I'm just going to go get learning ceramics again today. But it's also just like, I don't know, the bigger the challenge, the higher the reward. And so, I mean, like, it is something that is, like, I'm still learning to this day. Like, still learning how to do some of the stuff better and things. I'm like, why didn't I think of this 10 years ago? That's so.
Tips and tricks, man. You pick them up all the way. Mm-hmm. So Stash said something about getting dirty a while ago. He was ready to play in the mud.
You gotta feed the ducks in the mud, right? And yes, we can't dance for shit, but it's a good little icebreaker.
We just need more practice, see?
Yeah, we just need more practice. You know.
Why we do it every week. It's our regimen of learning to dance.
I like Jim Jones' comment here. He's got a few mugs and cups. Ain't gonna lie, don't use them. Just look at them and feel privileged to have earned them. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I can't lie. I haven't used mine either. It sits on my coffee table, kind of like as a display piece.
Another one. Choose which one you care about less and use it. Like I'll be honest. I was making mustache guards for almost a year before I used the one or had one myself because I was selling them so quick, and I finally got a mug that had a mistake in it, and like then I myself, I was like, holy cow! Like I've had the access to this for almost a year, and like I earned like cup mugs with mustache guards. I mean, like it is a game changer. Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe it.
I'm super curious because I'm drinking out of a can, and every time I take a drink, I still gotta wipe my lip, and you know. Oh, that's killer.
Jason, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight.
Oh, of course, yeah, anytime. Like seriously, if you need someone, just bring me back. We could talk more.
Yeah, and it was so easy. I'm like, hey, you want to be on the show about your mugs? And he's like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this. So I love it when it works out that way because I just know it's going to be a great guest and somebody that they're passionate about what they do. And so it makes my side and Stash's side of this table a little bit easier.
Awesome. Yeah, and I tell you what, Ron, I mean, I don't want to talk out of school, but we need to figure out maybe getting some I don't know, bearded theater mugs, and we can do some raffle action at our comp in August. So I think we may be reaching out to figure out something on a 10 pack or whatever.
Yeah.
So that'd be super cool.
Yeah, that would be way cool.
What I'm working on. So
awesome.
Sweet.
Well, Jason, thank you again for coming on tonight. Monday night, kind of weird time. And I'm sure our viewers appreciate it. A lot of people learned who you were. They may have seen you or seen your work, and now they know a little bit more about you. And hopefully next week your sales increase. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. We'll see. No, you're definitely grinding, but man, yeah, it's so great to meet you and have you on, and I'd look forward to meeting you in person sometime soon, brother.
All right. Well, you two take care.
Take care, Jason.
Brother. Be good. That was killer.
Wow.
That was awesome. What a cool dude.
That was a great interview, man.
Yep. Just the you kind of encapsulated it perfect. That circle, right? Mm-hmm. It's the learning, the giving back, and then the more learning, and then teaching others, and wow, just what a good dude. Good dude.
I mean, even if you heard his freestyle story, when he showed up the first time, somebody just showed him how to do it. Like they gave their knowledge to him, and then he was able to build from it. And it's amazing sometimes what sharing just a little bit of something you may know or help out somebody that's struggling, how far that simple gesture can go. And it's 100%. Great.
100%. And that's kind of, what we're trying to do here with Bearded Business is highlight folks like Jason that was on, and how do we, help spread the word and try to give back a little bit, because that's what this whole community means to me, is how do we all give back to the greater good, whether it's amongst other club members and other members in the community, or outside that with the charities that we support. So
absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Woke me up on a Monday, dude. I got excited talking to Jason.
Man, that was that. Yeah, what a way to cap off Monday Fun Day, right?
So Dun Day Monday also, because this is the last show before our giveaway, which will be Monday. We will draw the raffle. We'll sell all the way up till Sunday night. We'll close that Monday morning. $5 a spot, many spots as you want. We got some great prizes. We got a Johnny Rodriguez piece. We got a Yukon piece. We got some Kelly Park books. A nice Indiana Mob swag pack from our introductory episode.
Yep.
So,
No,
cool
there's some
stuff to
cool
win
stuff.
there, but you got to get in
$5
it to win it.
$5. It's going to charity. Turning
where's it
Point,
going?
domestic violence charity here in Columbus, Indiana. So we've said it before. I'll say it again. It shouldn't be an organization that exists, but it does, and they need support. So
Absolutely. And the PayPal for those are right here running across the bottom. Once again, $5 a spot. We're going to run them till the Sunday before our show.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of Sunday, there's something coming up this weekend. I can't remember.
We have plans this weekend?
Yeah, I think we may be making a road trip down south.
Down south? We can go to probably Louisiana.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Party down south.
Hey, what's up, girl? What's up, Miss Meg? So yeah, Mob Fest 6. If you're in the area or you're 12 plus hours away, drive down. By God, it's gonna be good times. I'm so freaking excited about Mob Fest.
I was there last year. It was amazing. It's supposed to be even more amazing this year. Can't wait. There's 4 of us coming from Indiana. And so, yeah. Just Meg and me and you and Big Stinky.
Yep, we've got a little crew. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
It's gonna be good stuff, man. I'm excited to go. We're leaving out Thursday evening. Should be there early Friday morning. Get a big nap in, and then be ready for the fun, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We got the Whisker Craft Battle. I think is taking place Friday, and comp on Saturday. The location seems just outstanding, fabulous. I'm sure if you haven't, Danny, Yukon Purdy, and Buffon have been making their rounds on the other shows, kind of trying to plug it. So definitely check it out. It's
gonna be good times, my man.
For sure.
So just one other thing I want to bring up, because I can bring it up every week, is the Shave for Prostate, man. We're trying to raise some money. Our goal is $4,000 to stop. It's the charity that does for prostate cancer. They do research and screenings and give resources, lots of resources for families and people going through prostate cancer and the screening stages. So we're trying to raise $4,000. I've agreed that I will shave on stage at Bearded Theater August 12th into Chops. I'm going to join the Chop Squad.
Chop Squad. Yeah.
And then we got Harry Flanagan, the Joker's throwing off a mustache and his hair. Can't wait to see Harry without hair. That's going to be weird.
Love you, Chicken Wing.
And then we got Travis Smith that's threw his mustache up on the table. And my boy, my VP, Chris Hall's putting his big old mustache up. So we got a lot of support. We expect to have a lot of support from the bearding community as well as outside sources. Going to raise some money and have a ton of fun with it. So there'll be some more stuff coming up, some little fun side challenges and stuff to kind of boost some fundraising. So just watch out for that. The ticker at the bottom is the PayPal if you're so inclined to donate to said charity. And yeah.
Check it out. It's a great cause. Men's health. It's important. Be aware. Go get tested. Yep. Chop Squad. That's right. Joker.
That's my boy. Love you, Harry.
Right on. Well, I would say the only other thing maybe we need to plug is we got the pack on Wednesdays, right? Bearded Family Network.
Bearded Family Network.
Yep. We got the sideshow on Thursdays. Check out the ladies, Britt and Miss Bethany. And then back on setting on Sundays with Crayon and Nomad. So
and soon we'll have Johnny Rodriguez with his own show. And I honestly can't tell you what day it's on it, or even if they said it. But he's coming.
Saturday.
Johnny's coming.
Yeah. It's Saturday. I saw a post a little earlier today. So it's going to be another little twist. So looking forward to that. Bizarre Designs, Johnny Rodriguez, cool dude. Our first guest on the show.
First guest. That was a fun show too.
Yeah, it was. Man, they've all been fun. We have fun.
Know.
Right?
At the end of every show, I'm like, man, that was just fun. That's all of them.
It's good times. I had a buddy asking me earlier today. He's like, "Man, so you getting tired of this Monday thing?" Crane man, if you're watching, no man, I love this shit. It's good people. I love hanging out with this guy, and I love getting a chance to meeting awesome people and help promote their business. So good stuff. Good
Absolutely,
stuff, man.
And some of these people that we've had on as guests, we know and we've seen or maybe not seen or talked to or maybe not talked to. But getting to sit down with them and not at a comp or in a fundraising activity and just sit down and talk is really cool. So
Yeah.
I'm loving it, man. Episode 8, right? Wow.
I still can't believe we're doing a podcast, and here we are, episode 8, right?
Yeah, we're doing it.
It's good shit. I love you, man, and I love everybody that tuned in and watched. I hope everybody has an outstanding week. Take care of yourselves. Be kind. Be nice. All that good stuff.
Love y'all. Have a great night.
Happy Monday. Have a great week.
Done day Monday.